Hi, I'm Kevin with Ikan, and in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the features of the S7P, and one of these features is going to save you a bunch of time. So the Saga S7P is a 2000 nits high bright monitor with a touchscreen panel. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some of the features that the S7P has. I'm not going to go over all the features. As you can see, there's quite a bit of different features available here. I'm just going to go over the ones that I think are most useful, at least to me. So one of the features I find most useful in any monitors is the false color. So here, the false color is this icon right here. And there's actually two different types of false colors, depending on what type of image scaling or color grading you want to use. So the S7P has two different color preferences depending on which ones you like. The type 1 has overexposed as red and under as pink. Type 2 has overexposed as red and under as this light purple lavender. Another feature I like using a lot is focus peaking, and that's this icon right here. And you can actually choose between red, green, and blue lines. So if you shoot with anamorphic lenses, you probably notice that when you use an external monitor that your image is kind of squeezed down. What's great about this monitor is that it actually has video aspects that you can change so it can de-squeeze the image for you. And that's this icon over here. And for example, right now it's set on auto. You can go ahead and change it to the 2x35.1. So another great tool this monitor has that can help you not only nail your exposure, but also your color is the waveform feature. This has many different types of waveforms that you can choose from. However, my favorite is to turn them all on. So not only will you have your waveform, but you also have your vector scope as well as audio bars. So we noticed that actually a lot of people don't like using touchscreens. You can actually turn off the touchscreen and use the menu wheel scroll we have up here. To turn off touchscreen, all you do is simply tap the power button once, and you'll see this icon right here showing up, kind of like your hand with a cross through it, indicating that your touchscreen is no longer on. So after you turn off the touchscreen, to access the menu, you simply push down on the scroll wheel here in this corner, and you'll come up with the menu here. You can select everything you need by using the scroll wheel. So many times I do a lot of color grading on my footage, and I want to actually be able to preview them before I actually put the files on my computer. And that's where loading LUTs on this monitor will help you. You can actually load them via the SD card slot that's on the bottom of the monitor right here. To either preview or load LUT files, you would go to the image setting and then scroll down to LUT. Here you have two options. You can either use the scroll wheel to access everything you need, or if you have your touch feature on, you can actually just use touch to import everything. And now it'll import everything from my SD card to the monitor. And I no longer need to actually have the SD card to preview the LUTs. So the monitor actually comes pre-installed with a couple of LUT files, like the slog2 here, slog3, the llog, and the vlog. The file that I just loaded is the film print emulation LUT, which is a 709 LUT. And if you're interested in this LUT file, you can actually download it in the description down below. All right, to preview the LUT, I'll simply select the LUT I want. I'm gonna use the film print emulation that my coworker made. And you're gonna see a blue line kind of highlight the bottom of it. And to turn it on, you would simply click on here and it will turn on the LUT file. So in the beginning of this video, I talked about a feature this monitor has that can actually save you a bunch of time. And what that is that you can actually save 3 different configurations of whatever settings you want to mix and match on this monitor and access them real quickly. Let me show you what I mean by that. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the false color to make it easier for us to distinguish some of the settings. And then go over to this last icon right here, and it actually shows you the 3 presets I have here. I actually have 2 set up where the waveform shows up, and 3 is where my LUT preview is on. So if I go to 2 right now, you'll see that the waveform shows up, and then 3 will be the image with the LUT on it. If we go back to 1, it'll be the false color. So the Saga S7P is a monitor jam-packed with a bunch of features at a very competitive price. If you want to find out more about this monitor, you can visit us at ikancorp.com, and thank you for watching.